Greetings, blessings, and peace to everyone out there. This is your resident master teacher, Len Gaffney, and I'm here to kind of share some knowledge with you as usual. Today, I'm going to go through a little basic explanation of your chakra system, okay? And each of the seven chakras, what they do, what they're responsible for, and hopefully it'll understand you as an energetic being about how the energetic flow that flows you and you as an energetic being, how it flows through you, and how things and traumas and everything else can be stuck in those various chakra systems to disallow you to really connect with your higher self at a greater intensity. So we're going to start off with a basic explanation. You have seven chakras, or I like to call them energy centers. Okay. And if you've been paying attention to a lot of my videos, I say that everything is energy, right? And that includes you as an energetic being. This body that we're in, this is an avatar, which houses the soul or energy of our spirit, energy, or whatever you want to quantify or name it, that energy is, right? And so that occupies this space, which this energy, this soul, is attached to our higher self, which is in the sixth dimension, the sixth density, right? It's up in an astral plane, right? And so that's our oversoul, and that energy is connected to us, and it channels us. The energy channels through our chakras, right? And so we have seven main energy centers. Now, the body has hundreds of other, energy meridians and chakras, all over the body, on the outside, all over the body, right? But our main seven, which is responsible for channeling all energy through our system, main highway, as you want, as you want to qualify it, is our energy centers that go straight in the middle of our body, right? We have a root, which is at the base of our spine. We have a sacral, which is right down in our sort of sexual areas and endocrine systems and all of that. We have our solar plexus, which is around our stomach. We have our heart, right? We have our throat. We have our third eye right here, which is in the middle of our forehead, and then we have our crown, which is on the top of our head, right? And that energy flows down from higher self and it flows up, and so the energy goes both ways, right? And so as we go through life and understand that the traumas that we harbor, sort of prevent us from having an open highway of fluid energy transfer, that that impedes our process and our conscious evolution, right? So, but these energies and these chakras are responsible for different types of emotions and different types of identities that we all carry with us, right? So we're going to start off with the root chakra. The root chakra, and there are colors associated with them. So I know a lot of folks that I've gone through sessions with. They said they see colors. Those colors are associated with our energy systems, those chakra systems, right? And so the first one I want to start with, as is at the base of the spine, right, is called a root chakra, right? And that's at the base of the spine or the tailbone, right? And that color is red, right? That's red. That's our physical identity. That's who we are, and that's our stability. That's our grounding, right? That's Now we talk about a lot that we should be grounding ourselves back to Mother Gaia, to Earth, and so that our energy and ourselves can be grounded to the Earth. That's what that does, and that root chakra allows us to ground ourselves. And if we're not grounded, or blocked, that means we have a bunch of physical issues like arthritis, pain. You can be severe constipation, bladder, or colon problems, emotionally through feeling insecure about finances or basic needs and well-being. And I mean, when it's in alignment and open, we feel grounded, secure, both physically and emotionally, right? So that's that root chakra. It's that root chakra that really. So when things happen, and I don't know, I've had a lot of problems with arthritis, pain. That's because I held a lot of emotion and energy when it comes to situations that involved emotional stability, with my own confidence, my own stability, and it sort of manifested itself in some arthritic situations across in my body. When I was able to get rid of those, the arthritis went away, right? And so that's what the root chakra is responsible for. And that's what is the chakra. It's the sacral chakra, right? And that energy system is just below the belly button, just above the pubic bone. So that's around that sexual area, and that color is orange, right? And so that meaning is it houses our sexuality, pleasure, our creativity. That's that sacral chakra. Issues with this chakra can be seen via problems associated with organs, like the urinary tract infections, things of that nature, lower back pain, impotency with men. Emotionally, the chakra is connected to our feelings of self worth, even more specifically, our self worth around pleasure, sexuality, and creativity. So, having a lot of problems with sexuality, impotency, all of that kind of stuff, that is something in our sacral chakra, and there are energies that have been sort of stored in there as a result of some traumas that we've gone through, that we need to understand that those need to be released. And so with a lot of sessions, and since I've been doing Reiki energy healing sessions, a lot of females that have had trauma in terms of abuse, sexual abuse when they were a child. And when I get across the sacral chakra, the energy is very, very intense. And so that is common among a lot of females and men too. But when we go through that, it really sort of blocks up our sacral chakra, and we need to understand that we need to release some of those energies associated and traumas associated with that. Okay. The next one is a solar plexus chakra, and that color is yellow, and that's right there in our upper abdomen and the stomach area, and that's our self-esteem, that's our confidence. That's where we house when we're walking upright, we're confident, we're whenever we speak to people, we show it, we show our confidence, we show that air about us. And blockages in this chakra often experience through digestive issues like ulcers. When ulcers sort of manifest themselves when we do a lot of worrying, things of that nature, when we don't have confidence in something that's going to happen, we get a lot of worrying over something or worrying a lot of things, sort of resonates in ulcers. Heartburn comes up, eating disorders, indigestion. Um, it's a chakra that's a personal power. That's where we take our power, and that's where we don't give our power to anybody else. We keep that power for ourselves, and we constantly give it away. That when we lose our power, then we lose our confidence, right? And this means that it's related to our self-esteem and our self-confidence. So that's our solar plexus, right? And so then we got our heart chakra, right? And that's the center of our chest, right? And so that's just above the heart area, located in that heart center. It's green. That's our love. That's our compassion. And the heart sort of chakra is that one large sort of CEO of the energy centers that really orchestrate the flow from all of the other chakras. That's our main sort of CEO or orchestrator of everything. So, as I indicated before, the heart has millions and millions of more neurons in it than our brain. So that means that our heart sort of sees things and discerns things a full 7 seconds before that information gets to our brain. And so if we're in the process of really opening our heart chakra and releasing all of the energies associated with our heart chakra, and that means that we're fully tapped in, and we can really discern things that are happening to us at a quicker level and a truer level, because the heart will never steer you wrong. And with the brain, we have the ego there. So that brain is fighting with that ego, and that ego that's telling us that we should do something based on our old habits or anything else, right? Our heart is in that position to really tell us exactly what's in the best trueness of who we are. And so, heart can be manifest itself in physical health, heart problems, high blood pressure, asthma, weight issues. Um, People with heart blocks often, put others first. If you're in the action, or if you're putting everybody else first and not your own self. That's a problem with your heart chakra, because you're in the process of trying to get, everybody else is pleasing from everybody else, when you are the first and only person that you should be looking to really from gratification from your own internalness, right? And so in the middle of the seven chakras, it bridges the gap between the upper and lower chakras. Like I said, that's that CEO, that's an orchestrator of all of the chakras, and it represents our ability to really love and connect to others at a deeper level than what we're sort of used to, what we've been programmed to. If we really open that heart chakra, it doesn't matter what anybody else says, or what anybody else does, our ability to love and embrace and accept others based on our love and our heart chakra being open, then that makes us feel really, really connected. And being blocked, we can feel insecure, lonely, isolated, things of that nature. So that's our heart chakra. So that's that energy center that controls and at the highway and of energy flow that's in all of our seven chakras, right? And so now we got the throat chakra. That color is blue, right? And that's right here. That's our communication, right? And one would expect that this heart really chakra is connected to our ability to communicate verbally, right? Voice and throat problems, as well as any problems with everything surrounded that area, such as the teeth, the gums, the mouth, can indicate a blockage. So if you're having any teeth or gum problems or anything else, that's associated with blocking that energy center and that heart and that excuse me that throat chakra, right? Also, blocks on misalignments can also be seen through dominating conversations, gossiping, speaking without thinking, having trouble speaking your mind. When something's on your mind, and you have a tendency to keep that shut in and don't express how you feel, and not worrying about how the other person or other people are taking the communication, what you said. I mean, that can manifest itself in the throat chakra being blocked, right? And so, when in alignment, you'll speak and listen with compassion and feel confident when you speak, because you know you are being true to yourself and your words. So when you're holding things in, and when you're not expressing the way you truly feel others, and then you are, as a result of it, you are getting gum problems, teeth problems, throat problems, sore throats, things of that nature. You might want to look into something that maybe you're not being as true to yourself as you think you are, as far as opening up yourself and really expressing yourself at a greater level. So that's your throat chakra, right? So now we get to the third eye. That color is indigo. Okay, indigo is like a sort of a purple color, something like that, and it's between the eyes and the forehead, right? And it's also known as the brow chakra, right? Because it sits up right here. That's your intuition. That's your imagination, right? And so that third eye, there's a small gland in the middle of our brain. It's the size of a grain of rice, and it's called the pineal gland. That pineal gland has about millions of magnetite crystals in it, right? And so when those crystals vibrate, they act as our third eye, and they make that connection to to source, to our higher self, that allows us to really tune in with our higher self at a greater level, and allow us to be have our intuition can be really, really strong, right? And blockages, you can have headaches if this is not tuned in, issues with sight or concentration, hearing problems. People who have trouble listening to the reality of who seems to know it all, if or not in touch with their intuition, may also have a block. When open and in alignment, it's thought that people who follow their intuition can be able to see the big picture, and that's exactly what that is. You're really tapped in to what your higher self is telling you at all times, and you are your higher self and your higher you know, is really telling you some things, and your heart chakra is discerning that as okay, that's exactly what I need to do. And so you're really tuned in and connected in, right? And the last one is the crown chakra. Crown chakra is color is violet or white, depending on how you're tapped in, right? That's at the very top of your head. That's your awareness and intelligence, right? This crown is connected to source, a higher self. That's our opening up. That's our channels where all of this flows in. That channels that energy flows at the top of our head, and that's connected to our higher self and source, right? Crown chakra is linked to every other chakra, and therefore every organ in the system. So it affects not just those organs, it affects our brain, nervous system. It's considered the chakra of enlightenment, and represents our connection to our life's purpose and spirituality. So that's the open, that's the doorway, right? So everything goes up here, and that's a doorway that opens up, that channels, that connects it to our source, and really corresponds to the feelings. One with resonate with that you are reading, a different one resonate with you, or what you may be resonate with tomorrow. You're tapped into intuition, you're tapped in with everything, right? And so blockages, top of your head, the chakra may be deal with uh, sort of every now and then. Patterns seem to be sporadic. You're not really tuned in as much as you can. You're you have a lot of thoughts from your ego coming in, and those are overwhelming you, and fear, all of those sort of low vibration emotions are creeping into your head and consciousness. That means that you're not really tapped in to from your crown chakra. And so that's what we need to do as far as work those. And as we understand to do some things from energetically, we eat well, we eat better, we drink enough water, we meditate every day, and then we start to be aware of some of the emotional traumas that have blocked some of those, energy centers from that fluid flow that we need to really obtain to get really full clarity and connection to our higher self and source, right? So that's what we want to understand. So our chakras are our main energy centers. Understand that there are hundreds and hundreds more all over our bodies, but those are the ones that are really centrally controlled energy for us to really manufacture up and down, right? And so hopefully this resonates with you. Just a little short time to really explain what those energy centers are and how they work for you, what emotions are tied to those energy centers. So if you got any questions, don't hesitate to hit me up. Again, this is your resident master teacher, Len Gaffney, co-owner of the Healing Environment. Thank you, peace, and blessings.